Hello everyone, my name is Jen and welcome to the Book Refuge. Hi friends, welcome to a vlog. I don't share vlogs on the main channel too often. They are 90% of the time relegated to my patrons on my Patreon. They get about like weekly behind the scene vlogs where I share what it's like being a full-time booktuber and businesswoman and all that jazz. But for the Mafia Readathon, since it is, probably my favorite readathon that I host, although I feel that way about all of them, I decided to vlog this to share with everybody this time. So you're gonna see me read through all the books as you do in a vlog. You'll see me in all my weird positions and places around my house while I share it with you, and then I will come back here after that and we'll talk about which ones were my favorite and all that jazz and everything. So I hope you enjoy the vlog. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and check out my Patreon if you end up liking this. Like I said, those vlogs are exclusive to them, as well as I have exclusive reviews that they get as well based on books that they voted on. They get the first updates about annotated books that I do and things coming to the channel. So make sure you're at least following my Patreon, which you can do for free. So, all right, I'll check in with you at the end. Hello, it is morning number 1 of the Mafia Readathon. I'm actually wearing one of my Mafia shirts. I have a grandpa sweater on though over the top because I'm going to be going to the coffee shop and it always gets cold. So I put a sweater on over it for my own warmth. But yeah, it is morning number 1. Like I said, I'm going to go to the coffee shop, but I thought I would just film a clip where I'm actually speaking here. So last night I drew a name out of my cup and I got Brutal Vows. So that's what I'm planning to do. I think I will have said that in the intro. I put all the books in a cup because it's fun to draw names out once in a while. And I picked out Brutal Vows, which is actually this Brutal Vows by Darcy McQueen. This is a new to me author, even though this was actually sent to me by the author a little while back. And so I'm very excited to dive into this one. I tried to read a little bit before I fell asleep, but I was wiped last night. So this one, I don't even know which prompts this one hits. I'm not really going in with like having planned out my board this time. They're just some Mafia that I've been wanting to get to. And I actually had one more get added that I will have to put in the cup because there was an ARC I signed up for, an ALC, an audio copy that I signed up for this book called Savage King. And I didn't know if I was going to get it or not, so I didn't put it on my TBR, but I did. And it is a arranged marriage, age gap, Mafia Romance. And I was like, that's going to tick off some boxes. So I may start reading that one as well, because I do need to, as I said, I'm going to go to the coffee shop, but I need to plan a video to film today. I'm still a bit behind from the trip that I just recently took, and so I had enough videos filmed to cover while I was gone, but I'm a little bit behind with what I'm posting this week. So I do need to go to the coffee shop, plan out a video. I did get all my reviews written yesterday, so that's pretty much what I have to get done. I need to plan a couple videos, and then as well as plan some content for the rest of the week because I'm a little behind with that. But this is my Mafia board. It's brand new. I have 6 different TBR options as I showed, and I do have another one I'll add on here as well. So yeah, I'm just gonna see what ends up getting ticked off without planning anything, because I feel pretty good with the books that I have picked here that I will get some bingos and everything. I'll tell you guys this now since you'll already know when you saw it. I am keeping the points like a secret of how many points you need to get your spot on the Mafia world, but it's not a ton of points. I've made it so that pretty much if someone gets a bingo and just 1 or 2 of the bonus prompts, they're going to be a Don or a Capo. So but I just wanted it to be a secret so people feel like they really need to work for it. And we'll see how it goes. This is, as I said, the first time I've done this like point system thing. I don't know if it will work, if it will frustrate people, what will happen. But anyone who wants to gamify a readathon anyway is probably going to have fun. The people that just want to read Mafia and don't care, they're going to do that either way. So that's why I just kind of went for it. I was like, I'm just going to go for it. So yeah, I am going to pack up my stuff and head over there. To Caribou is the place that I go. And I will probably start that audio because I do have, I'll show you this. I do have a cross stitch that I'm working on and I'm almost done with it, but I've been too busy to like finish it up. So let me show you the picture. Where is it? I'm working on this little Hogwarts one and I have almost all of it done. I'm just finishing up literally the Hogwarts part and then I have to outline it. So I'm almost done with it. So I'll probably do that if I start an audiobook and then we'll see how much I get through. One other thing I'll tell you at the start of this readathon is I did last night start the Dixon rule. I know this isn't Mafia, but I'll just tell you because I want to get this one read by Monday as well. So I might be squeaking in a few chapters of this at a time because I wanted to read this earlier, but like time just gets away from me and I can't always dive in to an arc right away, even when I want to, but I will also be trying to read that. So that is where we are right now. I will hop in later with an update on what's getting read, but this is great. I haven't done like a weekend vlog in a while. I mean, I vlog all the time for Patreon, but I don't always get to do these anymore because all my vlogs are saved for them, but this is going to be fun. So we'll check in again soon. Okay, hi guys. I realized I need to film another clip because I was just going to keep zipping through books here, right? Well, I can't remember what I said in the last clip, but I did finish Savage King by Deborah Garland, I think. So this was a new to me author. I had an ALC of this one, an advanced listening copy, and it happened to be, okay, this was pretty crazy. This one happened to have Irish Mafia, Italian Mafia, an arranged marriage, an age gap, a new to me author, and an audiobook, as well as rival families and BDSM. So this covered a lot of prompts. So I ended up listening to this one today, pretty much all in one sitting. It was pretty good. I ended on a 4-star because okay, this was like 90% sex focused, not 90%, like 70% sex focused type of thing. But it was still like kind of endearing in parts too. So I went with it, right? So this heroine gets married off to the hero. She's from the Italian Mafia. She gets married into the Irish Mafia. He's marrying her because, number one, he thinks she's hot. Number two, he wants to start a fight between the Bratva and the Italian Mafia. And by marrying this guy's daughter and giving him a bunch of money, he will be basically funding the Italians' fight against the Bratva because the Bratva is responsible for the death of the heroine's mother, aka you know, her father's wife, and he basically is just fucking with all of this, okay? And also, he needs an heir, and again, he thinks this mafia princess is pretty hot, but he's not planning to fall in love with her, and he also feels like he has some very dark sexual desires, so he's going to still keep fucking women in his club, right? He definitely is gonna totally do that, because he can't sully this beautiful virgin princess that he has. Nope, he's gonna get her knocked up and keep her at home, but he's not gonna, you know, lose his baser instincts on her. Well, that doesn't work because this woman is not going to accept that, and she pushes his buttons every chance she gets, and she's super attracted to him as well. So they're both just super horny for each other, even though it takes him a ridiculously long amount of time to finally fuck her. Because he keeps not even threatening, but keeps saying, oh, I'm going to fuck someone else. I'm going to fuck someone else because you can't handle me, until finally, you know, she makes him snap and he spanks her and she really likes it. And so then he's like, okay, maybe I can have what I want with my wife, right? So it's a tale I've seen before, but there were some cute things about it. Like, I really liked how fierce she was. For the most part, she was a very smart heroine. except when the plot needed her to be stupid kind of thing. So I don't really blame her for that, because yeah, it was definitely for plot reasons that happened. But yeah, it was good enough. I gave that one 4 stars since it's an arc. I probably would have given it more of a 3.5 if it wasn't, but we'll give it a 4. And like I said, it covered, here, I'll show you the little map. It covered so many things right away. So yeah, all these red dots got filled in. Plus there was a total of 8 prompts. So that meant I got 8 points for the prompts and 5 points for bingo. So that was worth 13 points there. Then it also had BDSM and rival families. So that was 4 points in the oddly specific area. So this first book was worth 17 points. So already well on my way up the Mafia scale, by the way. So then I had drawn Brutal Vows out of the cup, which I'd said. So during our reading sprints, which I just got off of, I started reading my physical copy, and I'm actually really enjoying this one. So this is probably what I'm going to keep reading right now. I was maybe gonna, which I'll show you the other one that I'm reading, but this one actually starts at a ranch that's being run by a couple guys in the Italian Mafia. I think they're like either hiding out there or laying low there, one of these two. And what else was I going to say? And our heroine is actually running from something as well. So she rolls up with her and her horse, and they're going, they need a safe place to stay. And they both recognize that the other one is kind of a liar. So they're like, you're a liar. I can see through you. But like, I want to help you at the same time type of vibe. I don't know another way to say that, but that's what's happening here. And so I probably just explained that so bad. I'm sorry. There's not a whole lot that's happened yet, but basically he can tell she's lying about who she is, and she can tell he's not who he says he is. And so they both agree we're not going to ask each other any questions. But then what happens? She has a seizure and faints while she's trying to take care of her horse. And so he has one of his doctors fly in and check on her, and it turns out she had been on a psychotic drug of some type that she did not know she was being dosed for years. And so her removing herself from that place and not having this drug anymore caused her to go into withdrawal, which is causing her to have issues. So the hero is really starting to dawn on him that, yeah, she's definitely from a really scary place. Because who would drug her without her knowing for literal years? So that's where we're at with this one. Like I said, very intriguing start. This one isn't super long, so I'm probably going to keep reading this one. But then I'd started a second audiobook while I was working on a puzzle tonight. And the other one that I had an audiobook for was Hug It Out by Davidson King. This one is actually a gift from my friend Daniela. And I started this audiobook, which is about Riordan and Teddy. And Teddy is a professional hugger and TLC provider, okay? So he is a professional cuddler. And Riordan's sister ends up hiring this cuddler to help him with a relationship, companionship connection, because he seems really sad and she doesn't want him to be sad. So she hires Teddy to do this for him as a birthday gift. And, you know, Riordan isn't convinced that he wants this right away, but he's like, to get my sister off my back, let's do a trial run. You can stay at my house for this period of time and we'll just spend time together. We'll do the relationship, spending time together part of it, but I'm not committing to any more than that. And Teddy's like, okay, cool. So also, Riordan's family doesn't know that he's an assassin for the Mafia, basically. So, yeah. And the way that this one connects with the other books in the series, they all take place in Haven Heart. And Teddy is actually friends with Snow, who was one of the heroes from the first book. So this is Mafia Romance, and I'm liking this one a lot too. I made it a good chunk of the way through the audiobook for that one. But that is my update. I'm going to keep reading Brutal Vows, I think, while I have a snack and then watch a couple of my YouTube videos, and then I'll dive back in. But we're doing pretty good for the first day of it. Finished a whole book, and I'm a good way into 2 other ones. So we'll check back in soon. Hey guys, I brought you into the kitchen because I need to make some dinner. And I get tired of showing the same like angle all the time, although maybe that's a bad one. Hold on. Let's work at the lighting. We'll do that. Okay. Anyway, so I just got off of reading sprints for tonight. Hold on. Which were awesome. And it was good. I also finished another book today. I finished Brutal Vows by Darcy McQueen, which was really good. It was a super unique take. There's actually not too much of like the mafia on page. It's two people who've both like escaped and or run away from the mafia, so there's not a lot of that on page, but it was a woman on the run. I ended up getting points for that. But it was pretty good. I think I talked about the beginning of this in another clip, but it was a lot of insta-love. You know, it was a pretty short book, and they are basically in love with each other within a week, and, you know, then it culminates in everybody coming after them and them sticking it to the man type of thing. So, yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. I definitely want to continue the series, and I thought Darcy McQueen had a stellar beginning. Hold on. I'm literally just making a spicy chicken sandwich, and you're supposed to make the whole thing in the microwave, like it's that type of thing, but I find that it's a little bit too squishy if I do that. So I start it in the microwave and I finish it in my toaster oven. So working on that, and then I have some soup left over that I'm gonna have with it. So gotta put this in the microwave now. Okay, so that was good. Now I'm working on Hug It Out, and I'm hoping to finish that one tonight. So now we're getting to the point where the one hero in this one, which again, I think I set this one up, it's with the professional cuddler and a mafia assassin. So this one's going to cover assassin. It's also next in series for me. That one will cover that prompt. And I think that's mostly what it'll hit. It'll hit assassin, it'll hit next in series. I think that's it. I think that's what it'll hit. But yeah, so the one hero, Teddy, who is the professional cuddler, who has been hired to work with the one hero and doesn't fully know what he's in for, right? That's what's going on with that. He is at the point now where he needs to find out what's happening and decide if he still wants to be in his life. So Teddy, he really has no idea about all this dangerous stuff. He doesn't know. And our hero our other hero, Riordan, he will be putting him in danger if he stays with him and doesn't tell him what's up. I mean, he'll be putting him in danger either way, but he'll really be putting him in danger if he doesn't tell him what's up. So he's gonna have to do that. And we'll see how Teddy reacts to it. But they did have their first like bit of fooling around before Riordan was like, I can't go any further with him until I tell him more. So they did fool around. They didn't fully have sex, but they were fooling around and everything. And Riordan like was gonna push him away, but he can't stay away, so we'll have to see how it works out. Gotta flip it. So yeah, I'm enjoying it quite a bit. They're very like sugary sweet. They're very sugary sweet type characters, I will say that. Like, it's very wholesome, even though it's in this, like, you know, it's in a dark world. So I'm here for it. I'm here for the wholesome ooey gooey stuff. So yeah, my goal is to finish that tonight. I did read a good chunk of the Dixon Rule today. That's why I didn't make as much progress, but you know, I finished a book and I read another chunk. But I did reading sprints with Crystal this afternoon, and I decided I was going to make progress on the Dixon Rule, because I do need to get that finished this weekend as well. because that comes out on Tuesday, so I can't slack on all my other stuff for Mafia. I wish I could. I wish I could just read Mafia, but I just have too many commitments. I'm really working on backing off of that a little bit so that I can focus in. Sorry, so many beepings, but making some food. But I also love being busy, right? I mean, this is what I do. I'm so blessed to get to do it. So it's not that I'm upset about it, for sure. It's just more of the fact that I want to make sure I give books the attention they deserve. So I don't like to have too much that I have to do at once, so that I give everything what it deserves, right? I feel like that is my responsibility as a reviewer. If I accept the books, that I do my best to get to them, right? Because otherwise, there was someone else who could have had that book. And I want to be a good steward of that. Anyway, so, yeah. But otherwise, having a great time. I will be, like I said, I'm going to make some food. I'm listening to one of my podcasts that is on YouTube. I love that they do that while I eat. I do have to also prep my videos for tomorrow. I filmed a video today, like last minute, because normally I don't go more than 2 days without a video going up. That is a Jenn thing. That is what I do on the Book Refuge. But you know what? With my vacation having been last week, where I went to the book signing, I was like, you know what? It's okay if I miss a Friday. It's okay. But I did film one to go up tomorrow, because it's not just about taking a break. It's about making sure that I'm still making my money, right? So just because I want to take, you know, a weekend off and not worry about it, Mama still got to make her dough. You know, I still got to make my money. So, yeah. But I'm going to have a crap ton of books to talk about, right? Because I have 2 weeks worth of books. And that's always fun when I have a lot of books to talk about. You guys tend to like it when my videos are long. And YouTube likes it when my videos are long. So yeah. Anyway, I'm going to go eat my food. And I promise I'll check in a little bit more of an organized fashion next time. Okay, so I've been putting off filming this clip for a couple hours here because I don't want to go into the full-blown rant right now. I'm just too tired. I just got done ranting with Mary from More to Mary. She's a friend. Hi, Mary, if you happen to watch this. You're the best. Who was oh so patiently waiting for me to finally read By Frenzy I Ruin. I know she wasn't the only one waiting. A lot of people have been asking me about it. I've been like, are you going to read Cora's book? Are you going to read Cora's book? Getting it in my DMs, getting it on my YouTube videos, getting it everywhere. I'm like, are you going to read it? Are you going to read it? Now, I always promised that I would read Nevio's book. In fact, it was the one that I was holding out for the longest, okay? It's the one I was waiting for. And it let me down, y'all. It let me down hard. You know, I didn't even have super high expectations. I tried to keep them low. I was seeing that it wasn't great. When I went to mark it as currently reading, I saw that it had a 3.3 with thousands of reviews. I know some of those were hate rating. There's people who hate rated this ahead of time. Like, I know. But still, I knew that I might be in for something that I wouldn't like. And again, I don't want to go in the full-blown rant right now. I don't want to. I'm currently taking a tiny break from Mafia. I'm working on my Dixon rule. I was hoping to fix it tonight, but as I mentioned, I have been messaging with Mary for a while, and so I used up some of my reading time messaging her, which was totally worth it. It was totally worth it. I regret nothing. But let's just talk about the two biggest things that bother me. Okay, so Nevio, he's supposed to be crazy. Like, the symbol she's using to represent him is the Joker. Okay, he has a Joker tattoo with ha 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 written, and each line of the H and the A's are his kills that he's made. He has bloodlust. To relax himself, he needs to go kill people. So they go find meth houses and drug busts, and they murder the people. Alessio, Massimo, and him. They go and kill indiscriminately. And that's all well and good. But I really wanted this book in a way that I felt like, you know, I felt like Greta's book was starting to tell me. I thought Greta's book was starting to tell me some of those things about him. But it didn't bring it home. Like, it didn't bring it home. I just felt like we got kind of left in the lurch there. And so then it just left us with this absolute psychopath, right? But he doesn't have a reason to be a psychopath, okay? And I know, someone doesn't have a reason. They can be born like that, but I mean a story reason, okay? There's what real psychopaths in real life are, okay? And then there's the ones in a book. And when it's in a book, they need to have a motivation and a reason to be this way. And then we have Aurora, who's just in love with him, knows how bad he is, knows that he murders indiscriminately, but what? She's part of a mob family, so she doesn't mind. Like, I don't buy that. Like, they still care if so many people are being killed. And I just didn't like that vibe. And so anyway, so that's one part. I didn't understand the why. Then skipping ahead to, like, you know, our final bit of the book, which, like, without full spoilers for it, just what makes him turn the page, where he's deciding he's going to be a good partner to Aurora and that he really does love her. I don't believe shit. I don't believe he changed at all. What made him change? Who made him change? He's had every person in his life, every single one, practically begging him to change and get his stuff under, you know, get his ducks in a row. And he doesn't have good enough reason to do that. And then he goes away for a while. Like, I'll just say that. He does. He goes away for a while. And he's going to stay gone until he is ready to step up. We skip all of that time. Like, there's only like 1 or 2 scenes during that time that he's gone, which is a significant amount of time, we'll just say. And then he comes back and he's just fixed. Like, he's, you know, he still loves to kill, but he's not going to do it if he doesn't need to now. He's going to be devoted to Aurora, and he's not going to do that. And that was the laziest ass thing I have ever seen written. There wasn't a drop of character development in there. It was just, oh, I need to run away to work on myself. I'm going to go to this place and do that. And then he comes back and he's like, I'm ready. What did he go through? What did he do? What did he change? How has he thought about it? Why does he all of a sudden love her now? Like, what did he even do? But he just comes back. And there's only like 40 pages left. Does he grovel? No. Does he have to pine for her? No. Does he have to do anything except show up and flirt with her a little bit and kiss her a few times for her to give in? Yes, that's all he has to do. So I'm so disappointed in this one. I won't be reading more in this. I won't. I won't. I've said that before, but I was willing to hold out for for Greta and Nevio's books. I have now read them. Out of the 5 I've read in this series, I guess I like Greta's the best. It was the best, like, plotted and done. But I'm so disappointed. Will I read her ever again? I don't know. I'm honestly like, I might continue with her other series if she does continue to put them out, maybe. But my heart really isn't in it, you know? And I don't like reading things that I know I won't enjoy, okay? And I don't like to be the party pooper. I don't like to be the one ranting about stuff. I purposely try to choose things I will like. And I knew there was a possibility I wouldn't, and I didn't. And so I gave this one 3 stars because I did finish it. There were still some cute moments. I liked seeing certain parts of it. So, but I honestly, like, this wasn't a well-written book. It was not. The character development was not there. The, you know, rising and falling action made no sense. Like, yes, he's supposed to be frenzied. He's supposed to be like the Joker, but it's like, you don't want to be married to the Joker. You don't want to be a partner with the Joker. So I wanted to see his journey to get there. And we skipped all the work. We skipped all the work that had to be done. It was lazy as fuck. And that's all I'm going to say about it. So we have one more day of the readathon. Update, I do have 2 bingos so far. I'm up to 29 points so far, so definitely made it to the top of the Mafia here. I do think I will try one more. I'm going to start Tempted by the Devil tonight by Michelle Hurd, which should fit a retelling of some kind, because this one looks like it's a bit of a Beauty and the Beast retelling, kind of. We'll see. But it for sure hits the Cosa Nostra. This one mentions the Cosa Nostra in it. So if I hit Cosa Nostra, I will then have, I think, at least one more bingo if I hit that. And who knows if it'll hit any of the other prompts. We'll see if it hits any of the other prompts in there too. But either way, we're going to try that one. I could try Yakuza Fiance. I could read that one too, but I want to read this Michelle Hurd. It's been on my TBR for a while, and I haven't gotten to it yet, so I want to start that one. But I'm going to finish my wine. I'm going to read a little bit more of Dixon, the Dixon Rule, and then when I get in bed, I will start that one. But there we go. That is my thoughts vaguely on By Frenzy I Ruin, and I won't say that it was a waste of time because I needed to read it. I just needed it for my own closure, but I am definitely ready to close the door on the Sins of the Fathers. I really would like to do a reread of the Cumorah Chronicles, you know, the first 4. I really want to do that. I have some beautiful copies of the books right now, and I think I might end up doing that. I think I'm going to do that for myself as a gift to me. So, all right, I'll come back probably with a final wrap-up clip tomorrow. Okay, how was that? Did you enjoy that vlog? I do have one more book to talk about, and then we'll kind of wrap up the experience for it. So I did want to read one more book, I think I said in the last clip, but I did go ahead and finish that L. Kennedy first, which was great, by the way. I gave that 5 stars. I really liked that book. But then there's a Michelle Hurd that I had on my TBR, which was the one I wanted to read. And that one fit the prompt for Cosa Nostra, which was only one more prompt, but it got me a whole other bingo, which was great. Loved it. So I ended up with quite a few points, which we'll get to in just a second. But I read Tempted by the Devil by Michelle Hurd, as I said. This is the start of another series of hers. A lot of her series roll into each other. That's the way a lot of Mafia series, and I mean even like small town romance and stuff does, right? Within romance, if an author has a good thing going, you just keep it going. So anyway, this one was about Angelo and Vittoria, I think is how we say that, Cosa Nostra. And Vittoria is under the terror of her stepbrother. Her father has died, and she's waiting to come into her inheritance so that she can escape her brother. Now her brother, this stepbrother, wants to wait around till she gets her inheritance because he's planning to steal it from her. But she is putting up with horrible abuse from him. It's just awful. It hurts to see what's happening to her. Like, honestly, you know, I've been reading Michelle Hurd for a few years, and she doesn't make you shy away from it. So there is a lot of this abuse of her on page, horrible things that are happening to her. But then we have Angelo, who is is he a capo in this one? I can't remember where he is. I think he is in New York, and there are like 5 of them running the area, but her stepbrother is under him, and so he actually owes him a lot of money. He's been gambling at his clubs and casino and all this stuff, and he's run up a huge bill. And, you know, instead of killing him, Angelo needs to marry, and he gets a look at Giulio's sister, who is 23, and he just thinks she is exquisite. And he's like, she is this pretty little virgin. She would make me a perfect wife, a mother to my heirs. I want her. So he demands her in exchange for this debt, right? You know, we've seen it before, and it's a classic, and I love it. And he doesn't know how badly she's being abused. He just thinks she's a very shy and quiet woman, as most people would be around him, because he's very intimidating, right? So, yeah, but Julio doesn't know that he wants to make her his wife. He just knows that he's going to be trading her for money. Like, that's really all that he knows. So he thinks he's just handing his sister over to be raped. You know, no big deal. But Angelo has much bigger and honestly much better plans for her than that. And he marries her and takes her home with him. And of course, then we enter the phase of like, she's going to do what she has to do to survive. But he's like, I want a good relationship with my wife. I don't want you to be scared of me. You're now the wife to one of the most powerful men here. You have nothing to fear. You can have everything you want. But, you know, it doesn't erase the fact that she's been horribly abused for quite a long time. And so we get to see lots of hurt, comfort, lots of consoling. It almost could have been too much. And I think for some people it will be too much. But I love it. I love that kind of stuff. I love when, you know, I love reading very strong women, but I think that strength comes in all different types. And I really thought that, you know, her will to like endure what she's going through, I thought was really beautiful. So yeah, he ends up falling head over heels for her, for his wife, and we see them building their beautiful relationship, but there's still a lot of things that are going to trip her up as she goes, right? So this one ended up being my favorite one I read, though. I'm really glad I squeezed one more in because, you know, this readathon was just like so-so for me. It was good, though, because I read a lot that have been on my radar or ones that I needed to get to for a while, so I don't regret those. I found a couple new series that I will continue with them. So let's just revisit everything. So I read 5 books for this. I ended up with, I'll show my bingo board. I ended up with 26 points, right? So the way that that broke down is I had 3 bingos, which is 15 points. And then I had 12 boxes checked off because that's how I did it. Remember, we did points for this is that each square is worth a point as well as a bingo is worth 5 points. And you don't double count your squares, they only count once, but you can use other squares to make the bingos. I think everyone got it by the end. I'm sorry if that was confusing for people. I just thought it would be fun, you know, and then I ended up sharing the board with anyone, and I saw most people made it a good way up the board, so I felt good. But anyway, I got 26 points for that. I thought I would hit more of the oddly specific recs. I really didn't, and I know part of it is that I've read I think all the other books from the other hosts, so I couldn't read one of those to get a big boost of points, but I did get 8 points from the oddly specific. I had a woman on the run, assassin, rival families, and BDSM. Unfortunately, I thought I was gonna have a neurodivergent hero, but I ended up deciding I didn't feel like that was actually a neurodivergent brain, and so I didn't want to count that, but I was doing great anyway, right? Because if you saw the board, you saw to get couple you only needed 25 points or more, and I had a total of 34 points, so I was like, you know what, we're good. I don't need to try to squeak the rules for it. So yes, the 5 books that I read Savage King, which was my first one, which got me the most points because it was the first one. You know, a lot of the other ones would have doubled up on the points, which we weren't doing. So I got 13 points for Savage King, which was great. I will read more in this series if the audiobooks are available because I like the audio. I read Brutal Vows. I read Brutal Vows by, not by J.T. Geisinger, but by Darcy McQueen. That was pretty good. I gave that 4 stars. I read Hug It Out, which was 3 points for me, and it was just okay. I wanted more from that one than I got, as I said, but another audiobook, and it was an MM romance, which I didn't include LGBTQ this time, and I'm sorry that I forgot that one. I will make sure to add that as a square next time, so I apologize. I couldn't fit it all in. I'm sorry if I missed some. That would have been helpful, but we'll switch out some of the squares next time. I have the final live show in just a little bit, and I'm gonna ask people what they thought of it, if it was good, and if you're watching this too and you participated in it, let me know if you saw any weaknesses that I had, if you thought this was fun, any prompts you think would be fun to add to either the main board or ones you think would make good oddly specific. I would love to hear your thoughts because I did enjoy this format, so I hope other people did too, to make it a bit more of a game, you know? I like that. So anyway, I read Hug It Out, and then I read By Frenzy I Ruin, which you saw the clip about that. I did not care for it. I know it was a 3-star, but for me, a 3-star is a bad rating for me. I know people will argue about it, but it's a bad rating for me. Amazon considers it a bad rating, and I like, basically a book that is tolerable gets 3 points, but it doesn't impress me much at all. And then I ended off with Tempted by the Devil, which was 6 points, and I gave it 5 stars. I really liked it. So I would consider this readathon a success for me. I had fun. Here ended up being my cute little board. Those are all the squares I put off. This was the TBR that I possibly had. And then my 4 extra points, and then, or my 8 extra points, and then I did a little scoreboard right here. I had 26 on the bingo board and 8 oddly specific for a total of 34 points. So yeah, I really love doing this. I hope you guys had fun. If you just watched the vlog, well, I hope you'll keep in mind next year for when we do it. It is always in May. I would like to say it's always the first weekend in May. This was the first time it was a second weekend because I was out of town last weekend. But in general, for the last 3 years, it was the first weekend in May. And we'll try to have it that way again next year. We'll see. I don't know what my life will look like in a year from now. If you're someone who likes doing these readathons, the next one that I'll be hosting will be in July. I don't have exact dates yet, but it will be the fan fiction readathon. This will be the 3rd time we've done that one, and I just enjoy that. There is enough drama for your mama in the fan fiction community, but I don't care. I just want to support it and read it, and people can save the drama for something else because I'm still going to read fan fiction and recommend it to people. So yeah, and again, if you like this vlog, please check out my Patreon. I have 75 vlogs already on there for the past 2 years of my life, which is really cool that there's that much there. And by signing up, you're actually getting a better deal now than you ever could because there's all that. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you so much here, and we'll see you in the next video.